Hi everyone, you have reached Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. For all of you out there, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Today, we're going to take a quick moment to talk about Pastor Jamal Bryant. If you know about Pastor Jamal Bryant, you already know the history, the background, the story. He is the pastor of New Birth Church in Atlanta, Georgia. He's being accused of just having all of these babies out of wedlock, sleeping with the congregation, just fathering children, and just being a little bit wild and crazy in these streets. But yet, he is the pastor of this mega church. So I'm coming to you today and to plead to New Birth. I know it is not that easy. I know that they have a board. I know that they have a congregation. I know that you can't just cut ties with someone that easily. And God knows in these COVID-19 times, I most certainly don't want to see someone just lose their job. But we are in a moment right now with this whole thing with Pastor Jamal Bryant. And unfortunately, I have to say, New Birth, you got to step up. It's time for Pastor Jamal Bryant to step down. And if he doesn't agree to step down, then you have to cut ties with him, because this is your duty and your right as a church, and you have to save everybody in your congregation. And unfortunately, New Birth already went through a major scandal with a bishop, and they most certainly didn't need another one. So that's the other shameful thing with Pastor Jamal Bryant. You came to New Birth to bring life because you knew they went through a huge scandal, and you're bringing death to their church. Pastor Jamal Bryant, for the love of New Birth, for the love of everything that you do, for the love of your legacy, step down. Step down. And give New Birth a chance to bring another pastor in there that's going to bring life, hope, and love to that situation. So let me just throw a little bit of information. I have some notes here out there for you. He's 49. As I stated, he is the senior pastor at New Birth. He is formerly from Baltimore's Empowerment Temple, which I heard he built that church up from almost zero to a mega church, and that's not easy. And so I can understand why when New Birth was in trouble and looking for a pastor, they looked to Jamal. He has a great reputation out there if you X out his personal life. But you know what? In some jobs, actually in most, you cannot separate the man that he does what he does at work from his personal life. It's going to bounce up against each other at some point. And so most certainly when you have a job so important as leading the people, speaking God's word to the people, of course your personal life is going to combine with that. You have to have integrity, which right now, unfortunately, in my opinion, he's lacking. So he was married to Jamal Bryant. They divorced in 2008. There was a scandal around the divorce, infidelity, so forth and so on, which Pastor Jamal Bryant admitted to and asked for forgiveness. And yes, we're all human. We're going to give you forgiveness. But after you forget the forgiveness, do you keep going and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again? Maybe as just the regular human being, yes, but not when you're a pastor trying to lead the people. If my pastor can't get it right, then I'm going to say to myself, well, then I get every excuse not to get it right too. So we'll carry on, right? So he left the church in Baltimore to go help save New Birth. And unfortunately, his demons, for lack of a better word, followed him to New Birth. And allegedly, he was sleeping with people in the congregation. And allegedly, he has fathered some more children outside of, if you Google him right now, Google will tell you that he has about 5 children. And those 5 consist of 3 from the ex-wife Giselle. 1 was before Giselle in their marriage, and then 1 was after, and then you have your 5. So that's on Google. But if you ask the streets, he has 7. And this is all alleged. But also, if you watch The Real Housewives of Potomac, when he was on there for about 2 scenes, Giselle's father, his ex-wife, so his ex-father-in-law, said that, Jamal allegedly has 7 children and all of these baby mothers, which I hate that term, but that's what came up on the show. So the streets are talking about Pastor Jamal Bryant and just fathering all of these children. And I don't care who you are, unless you have, like, with the Amazon guy money or Jay-Z and Beyonce's money, who can take care of 7 kids? Okay, you have to take care of them financially, mentally, physically. How are you giving time to all of these kids when they're not all in the same household? If you have one wife and you have 7 kids, then you're all home. I could see that happening. But if you got 7 kids, allegedly, and some are here, there, in this state, that state, wherever, how can you physically and mentally be there for all of these children? And if you're not making like a ton of money, how can you financially be there? You can't. Okay? So, that's just part of it. Let me just give you some characteristics that a pastor should have, which you should look for if you're going to a church. It says, without honesty and integrity, a pastor will likely lose credibility. And that's why I think New Birth needs to step in, ask Jamal Bryant to step down, because he has lost all credibility with everyone in the world, in front of the world, okay? So they can lose credibility with their church members and might even face job termination. Listen, this is not me. Don't come down on me. Don't shoot me down in the comments. But he should face job termination, right? A pastor is expected to uphold moral standards. Listen, there's these babies around that he had outside of his marriage. And listen, I'm not wholeheartedly judging. If you watch any of my videos before, I'm a single mother. I've never been married. But I'm saying, you are the pastor, and you're having all of these children outside of wedlock, okay? So, you're expected to uphold moral standards, which he has failed on that, okay? So his character is unquestionable, and right now his character has about 100 question marks after it, 100, and followers can trust him in his decisions and guidance. How can you trust a pastor to pastor our men, to pastor our young boys, to be a good father, good provider, when right now he is running the streets allegedly and just sleeping with women, destroying lives, and having all of these children out of wedlock? Who are you going to guide and help make decisions when your decisions are a little shaky and shady right now? He needs to step down. Okay? Let me give you a little bit more characteristics here. Okay? A pastor should be both smart and empathetic, write sermons that are relatable, current, practical, and that help you walk out of church with the tools and motivations to learn what you need to do and live a better life. He integrates a heavy dose of humor, arts, as well as prayer, and uses the Bible to help you and your family, just feel better and make you feel like family. Now, listen, he is an amazing speaker. I mean, go Google some of his sermons. He's an amazing speaker, but you got to be able to speak and blend your integrity with that speaking, and all of it together makes you who you are. How am I to sit there and believe all of this great stuff about you, and you're just in the streets running around like a young boy that just discovered, what he has in his pants and can't wait to get with a girl? You got to calm down. You're the pastor. Okay? Now, I because this is about a pastor, and, I can't walk away without saying, this termination, but bringing a little bit of the Bible to you, right? So here it is. Here, can you see there? I got my Holy Bible there, and I just want to go to you. Let's turn in our Bibles, as they say in the church, let me see here. It's 1 Timothy Okay, we got chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 2 here. Well, I'll start at verse 1. It says, "This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work." Bishop, pastor, preacher, if that's what your desire is, you desire to do good work. Okay? This is the Bible. This is not me speaking. This is the Bible. Here's verse 2. "A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, and able to teach." I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but this is coming out the Bible here. So if this is what a pastor or preacher is supposed to do, you got to look at Jamal and say, is he representing this? And if not New Birth, you got to ask him to step down. Or Pastor Jamal Bryant, why force this on him? Go to them and say, you know what? I'm no longer ready. I need to step down. Help them help you. So let me just see here. Let's see, where did I stop? Let's just read first video. I'm just looking at my notes. "Not given to wine nor striker, not greedy or filthy," just being filthy, looking at the money, "but patient, not abroad, not just not unruly, and one that ruleth well over his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity." So you know what? You got to cover all your kids. Okay, this is out the Bible. Let me just turn to, let me see if there's anything else I want to say here out of this First Timothy. Let me just turn here. Is also out the Bible here. I'm trying to see which one I want to read. There you go. You see Titus there. Titus, I'm going to go here. Chapter 1, verses 6 and 7. If any be blameless, the husband of one wife, having faithful children, not accused of riot or unruly. For a bishop must be blameless, as the steward of God, not self-willed, not soon angry, not given to wine, no striker, not given to filthy, just greediness. Okay. So I'm going to end it there, and I'm going to say this out of my Bible. You heard me read out of the Bible on what you should look for when you have a pastor, a preacher, or overseer of the church. Jamal Bryant, Pastor Jamal Bryant. I'm not just trying to say, I never want to see anyone get fired. We all need our job. But some of us will not stop the shenanigans unless we are stopped. Right now, whether it's alleged, true, it's too much scandal going on with you. Save New Birth. New Birth brought you to that church to bring them life, not death. They brought you there to bring them light and not darkness. Right now, there's a whole lot of death and darkness going on, and you need to step down. But New Birth, if he doesn't have the courage to step down, then you got to serve him with the paperwork. Jamal Bryant, Pastor Jamal Bryant has got to go. He has brought shame onto the church. And in addition to that, he's not setting a good example for the people. The example that needs to be set is that we should all be faithful to our wives and our husbands. You shouldn't just be sleeping around with, all these different people, especially the people in the church. And you shouldn't do and have, fathering all of these children everywhere, here, there, and everywhere, because these children, God's children, they need a mother, they need a father, they need guidance, they need both their parents in their life. And Pastor Jamal, for all your children that you brought into this earth, and I'm not saying, because I don't know you personally, I'm not saying you do or you don't, but be in their lives, acknowledge them all. And the reason why I'm saying acknowledge them all, because on the Real Housewives of Potomac, you had this restaurant that you gifted or said that your 3 children that are from your ex-wife, this was a gift to them. It should have been a gift to all 5 of your children that Google is saying that you have. But if the streets is right, then it should have been gifted to all 7 of your children. Take care of them all. Gift them all something publicly, because you gifted the other 3 something publicly. But New Birth and Pastor Jamal Bryant, Pastor Jamal Bryant, you should help New Birth out and step down. But New Birth, if he's not brave enough to step down, then you just got to give him the paperwork. You need someone, bring someone to that church that's going to bring life and lightness and not darkness and not death. You're called New Birth for a reason. And now it's time to give birth to another pastor. Because unfortunately, Pastor Jamal Bryant was not able to do it. He's a great speaker. He's done great things in civil rights, and we will not take that away from him. But what we have to take away right now is this job as the overseer, as a senior pastor of New Birth, because it's not a good fit for him anymore at this time. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Talk to me down in the comments, like my video, share my video, tell your friends about me. And it's the day after Christmas, and I hope your Christmas went well, and I hope you had a fabulous day today too. Thank you for listening. Hug your friends, love your friends, wear your mask. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.